This final video is about how to add special effects to your music or your narration or your sound effects. Most people will want to add their special effect to their narration track. The catch with special effects is you don't want to overdo it. Most people will overdo it to the point where I can't understand what they're saying, and you will lose credit for me not being able to understand what you're saying. So the special effects, there's several different ones that we'll look at here that you can use for your project. You don't have to, they're optional. So the special effects are all on the effects menu, and we'll select a section of our narration track so we can see these effects. Now the effects that you'll want to use the most are usually these change pitch, change speed, change tempo. Those are pretty common for students to use. Some of the others that will make a difference in your narration or whatever you're editing are also the echo, so it'll make it sound like there's an echo. There's the phaser and the wah-wah. Those do some different kind of sound effects that are pretty noticeable. Some of these don't do quite as much, like noise removal. That'll remove some noise from your project, but you got to know what you're doing, and it takes a little bit of practice. So some of these you probably won't need to use, but some will be interesting to try. You can experiment. If you don't like it, you don't have to save it and keep it. The first one is the change pitch, and the change pitch simply will make your voice high pitch or low pitch, and that's all it'll do. When you do the pitch, it'll ask you how much percent change, so you can have it go higher by going off to the right, you can have it go lower going off to the left, and because in this video the way we're doing it, I won't be able to have you listen to it, but when you do change this, you don't want to go too much. If you go way over either way, your voice, you won't really be able to hear it too well. If you're going to do a change, do a little bit. Don't make it real drastic. So the pitch, just high or low pitch. The change speed is going to make you talk faster, talk slower, and it's going to make your voice higher or lower pitch. So again, if you change it, you want to go just a little bit, not too far. That's probably too far. That's definitely probably too far. You don't want to do too much. So the change speed will make you talk faster and make your voice higher or lower. So think of the Chipmunks when you think of this one. The third one here, the change tempo, will simply change how fast you're talking. You won't sound any different other than how fast or slow you're speaking, or your music's playing, or whatever you're editing. So you can, again, do just a little bit. And when you're done with these, when you click OK, it will change what you have selected. So you make sure that you have your selection tool. You pick the section that you want to change before you apply any of these special effects. So you just do part of it, you can do the whole thing, and then apply a special effect to that track. When you change the speed or change the tempo, you want to be careful, because if we make it slower, it's going to lengthen this track. So right now this is 36 seconds. So let's make this 20% change, negative 20. If we click OK, it's now a little more than 45 seconds. So you want to be careful, because if you do the change tempo or change speed, it's going to make your project either shorter or longer for that track. So you want to be very careful, because if your narration track is at 38 seconds and you do that change tempo, it's going to make your project too long. So you want to be careful that you don't overdo anything, you don't overlook something. So you can mess around with these but again, don't overdo it. So if you don't like a change, you could always do edit, undo, or you could simply exit out without saving and open up your project again to start fresh. If you have any questions, please see your instructor.